Body content. All right, guys, let's get into the next major thing that Google looks at when considering what site to rank number one, or at least on the first page of Google, and that is body content, or just the words on the page of that blog post or that website page. That's the body content. Content is king is a phrase you may have heard before. If you are in the digital marketing world, you've heard it 1,000 times. Content is king, and it really is true. Here's why. Pages that rank number one on Google typically have way more, or sites rather that rank number one on Google typically have way more pages than sites that don't. And pages that rank number one on Google typically have more content than pages that don't. There's a lot of information out there about how many words you should use for a blog post. Well, I can tell you this, posts that have 1,500 words or more, percentage-wise, rank much higher in Google than other posts, or posts that are only 400 or 500 words. So Google looks at a lot more things than just the amount of words. Google looks at the quality. Google looks obviously at relevance and authority, but the quality, the way that it's written, do you use helpful pictures in the post? Do you have good resources listed in the post? Do you have other people linking to your post, which is what we'll get into later with off-page SEO. But Google looks at a lot of things, but bottom line is it's content. What Google wants is content, because again, to beat a dead horse with a stick here, Google's the great librarian of the internet. People go to Google for answers, and Google has none of its own. So Google is looking for content, and Google is looking for sites with great content, because Google knows, the company, the organization knows that today's searchers want to research. None of us wants to just be fed a lot of information. We want to learn, we want to grow, we want to research. Do-it-yourself videos are becoming huge, so content is king. Next major point is that Google loves quality over quantity. So it really doesn't matter if you go to like Fiverr.com or Upwork.com and pay somebody $5 an hour to write you a blog post. It's 1,500 words if it's written very poorly. Because let's say you decide to write a blog post on vegan recipes. Well, if you write a post on vegan, like let's say a recipe like vegan spinach artichoke dip, well, there may be some really good posts out there by reputable authors that are detailed with pictures, with explanations that are 1,500 words long, and you write a piddly little post with just a recipe and say, my friends tried this and really liked it. Well, that's never going to rank compared to some high quality post. So Google looks at quality over quantity. Some people have websites to where they, I've done SEO for clients that have products. This is especially in the retail space, where they'll have a product-driven site. So the site is just full of pictures. Well, even though the site's full of images and pictures, you still need content. And for people like that, at least 4 to 6 sentences on the page, at least 100 words or so, where you're using keyword phrases, where you are specific and relevant according to what people are searching for. You want to use your primary keyword 2 to 3 times per page, because we always want to focus on one keyword per page, and you want to use that primary keyword 2 to 3 times. That primary keyword needs to be in your title tag, but it needs to come through your body content as well. And then you want to use synonyms and stuff like that, but at least 2 to 3 times per page, so that Google really knows what that content in that page is about. And then you supplement with secondary keywords and synonyms and stuff like that. Avoid keyword stuffing. You know, if the phrase that you want to rank that, or if you want that page to rank for a phrase like calisthenics workout, that's something I've been researching lately. So you have a new website that's all about calisthenics, exercises without weights, and you want to help people develop that physique and have that way of working out. Then what you would not want to do is put calisthenics workout, that specific phrase, 20 times on the page. That's called keyword stuffing, and you could get flagged by Google as using practices that are contrary to Google's best practices and what a good user experience is. So you don't want to do that. Basically, you just want to, the key is to write in a way that is for the user in mind, but with Google in mind as well. So it's really good to write with the user in mind first, and then to rewrite with Google in mind, which gets us to the next point. So you want to write with the user in mind, and then you want to rewrite with Google in mind. So what you don't want to do is have a web page where all you're thinking about is what Google wants. And you think, I've got my title tag, I've got my H1 headline the right way, I've got body copy in my now I'm going to make sure that this body copy is structured perfectly, and I'm going to make sure my keywords are driving everything perfectly, and I'm using my keyword phrase here, here, and here. You don't want to get too rigid with it. It's about 50% art and 50% science. So don't leave the art part out of it, because there needs to be a creative aspect here. That you just need to know these things so that Google can pick up on what you're writing, but don't lose your personality, don't lose your creativity. So write with the user in mind, write with your audience in mind, but then rewrite with Google in mind, and make sure that you have those things like keyword phrases and some structure to your site the way Google wants. Just some typical writing tips, as somebody who's also very passionate about writing and the way you use words. Avoid passive tense. Phrases like John was hit with the brick. That's a passive phrase. It's much better if you say Mike hit John with the brick. So just little things like this. I mean, this is not a writing course, but you can do all your own research on how to write well, and there's some amazing free resources out there for that. But avoid passive tense as much as possible. Include calls to action on every single page of your site. Don't ever just end a page or end a blog and there's nothing more for the person to do. It's always good at the end of a page to say, to learn more about blank, click here. Or let's go back to the calisthenics workout page. Like, let's say I'm reading a page on a calisthenics routine, and then at the end of this page, it could say, for an advanced chest routine, click here. Or for an advanced leg routine, find out how right here, or watch this video, or download this infographic, or join our email list. Something at the end of the page that's a call to action. You're leading the person. So on your website, think about, what is the end result I want? What do I want them to do? And then you just tell the people that come to your site to do it, and ask them to do it, obviously. Lead people to learn more. Those are some content best practices. Again, this is not a writing course, it's an SEO course, but you definitely, above all, want to remember content is king, and you want to write with the user in mind and rewrite with Google in mind. Now, you may be thinking, well, I don't really know what to write about, and that can be daunting at times, but the key is to just write and then rewrite. Don't spend a lot of time writing. You can spend as much time as you want rewriting, but write. The key is to just get something out. And again, I love writing, and I've taken several writing courses at the master's level. And what we have learned is that you just need to write and turn the critical part of your mind off that says, oh, that wasn't perfect, or that could have been worded better. Forget that. Just write. Write a page. Don't give yourself any more than 10 minutes to write something, especially if it's on the creative side. But give yourself 10, 15 minutes to just write, and then go back and rewrite and edit and make it exactly what you want. And that way you just get stuff done, and you end up being a much better writer anyway. If you're looking for a list of ideas, here are some ideas. If this is a little too hard to see, just go to HubSpot.com, because that's where this infographic comes from, or just go to Google and type in list of content ideas or list of content formats, HubSpot, and you can find this. But there are a lot of things you can write. You can write a how-to article. You could write a case study. You could create a chart or an infographic. You could write an ebook. You could write a cartoon. If you don't know how to do a cartoon, you can find you can find free resources online on cartoons. You can even pay somebody on Fiverr.com to do a cartoon for you for $5. You could review a tool or a software. You could write about something you're giving away. The list goes on. It's great. Polls are really good. Quotes are really good. Anytime you explain something or show people how to use something, it's really good. You could do videos, you can do memes, you can do all kinds of stuff. And you can just think about what you would like to do. Would you like to teach someone? Would you like to inspire someone? Would you like to instruct someone? Would you like to comfort someone? You know, there's so many different things you can do. You know, with the internet at the tip of your fingers, you can, you know, do a search for writing ideas, and you can just get lost. There's so much great information out there. So that, guys, is the basic concept when you consider the body copy, is that Google does consider that body copy, and Google, with the latest algorithms, does really consider the quality of the content. So make sure it's quality, that it really helps people, and also helps with even images, videos, all kinds of stuff. Whatever you can do to help people go deep as they want, go as deep as they want on whatever that subject may be about. If you put this into place, you will be one step closer to ranking on that first page of Google.